iterative improvement, like compound improvement, is something that I've stressed again and again. And maybe I just have to keep hammering on it every couple of months, is talk about 80-20 time, right? 80% is doing same old. 80% is leaning on your own expertise with the tools you have, making do, not expending, not having a budget, not doing anything. It's the grind. And most people live in that place because life sucks, because you have certain obligations, and there's only so many things that you can do to meet those obligations. So a lot of people, they work, they play, they sleep, right? And it just cycles like that. Now, the idea of 80%, 20% is to do what is possible, to, even if it requires having less, taking on the pressure of not pursuing those niceties, of not having the luxuries, of suffering through the hardships without having any means to alleviate those stresses. So taking on that challenge, and then taking that time or that money or that whatever, that brain space, and filling it with something that you can turn around to attack that 80% with, that the rest of life. So you go from your 100% to chip away with 99%. Now you've got that 1%. You try to pit it against the 99. Hey, it's going to be hard. Fine. But that will eventually chip away until you earn 2%. And that 100% that you had been tackling, that is 100% stress, now becomes a little bit easier because you were able to that, until you can actually legitimately free up some time. It will have paid for itself. Your life becomes slightly less terrible, and you have a little bit more optimization time. And somewhere in there is, if you pursue it and you keep paying off that hardship in life, some of that turns into free time, playtime, so to speak. And if that's done with like a project that you have in mind, like, let's say, for example, you don't work weekends and you can actually take that off, you can put it towards some new project instead of trying to relax. And then you pursue 80-20 with that, which is you have 2 out of every 10 hours you have to put towards optimizing the practice of whatever you're trying to do. So you might want to learn to draw, like me, for example. And you sit there and you just practice. But at some point you stop practicing. It's not intuitive, but you spend your time like learning about technique, or trying to get the right tools, or watching and getting inspired by other artists. And this is not you practicing your art, right? This is you doing other stuff. But in doing the other stuff, it can then be applied to your practice, your personal practice, and it will improve it. Maybe by, you spend a little bit of that 20%. Hey, you learn that artists have electric erasers, and you learn why and what kinds of erasers, what circumstances. And you're like, and that you, as part of your 20% time, you learn that. You're like, oh, now you can apply it to your regular practice, your 80%. And suddenly it makes your life so much easier. Or you learn about certain kinds of paper, or you learn about certain grades of pencil, for example. Hey, this pencil people like with this paper because it's real easy to erase. And like suddenly, oh, I don't have all these smudges anymore. Oh, I don't have to start over again. Oh, I can make all these little adjustments. And it makes everything easier and nicer. And you get rewarded for the effort. Okay, so that applies to basically everything. And I have to reinforce that.